Hi, folks. Welcome to Your World with Prakash Kapila. In this episode, we have a very interesting item for you to interesting news or sadful event that we are going to analyze and find out what is happening around. So, wherever you are, this is going to affect you because the event is like that. So today we are going to talk about Sushant Singh murder and what were the flags that were ignored and how is that going to affect you in general. So I know most of you or many of you are not interested in movies or Bollywood or any of those things, but this is going to affect you. How is that? Is Bollywood basically is about the Indian movie industry, Hindi movie industry situated in Mumbai, India. And it has got worldwide recognition, like most of the actors have a worldwide appreciation because most of the Indians are living across the world and they watch the Bollywood. So this is going to have a pan world influence about how the things have gone wrong. A industry basically is not for one person. It cannot be manipulated. It cannot be. There are laws that prevent any industry, for that matter, to be manipulated, to be black marketed, or to be misused by any of the anti-national or anti-social elements. So with this backdrop in view, let us dig deeper into what our agenda is. Okay, so Sushant Singh Rajput has been murdered around 45 days ago, and there has been a lot of hiccups and hookups by so many agencies that are vital for our national importance, and international ramifications are also uh, cannot be ruled out. So to give you a brief, a lot of people do have informal knowledge that Bollywood and Dawood Ibrahim are connected. So Dawood is basically an international mafia don. He has been red flagged by all the countries, and even Pakistan denies that such mafia don is there with him. So he is there in their country. So this particular person, Dawood, is handling the whole mafia. I mean, there is a lot of systemic influence that the mafia has in Bollywood. That is what is the informal. We don't have any proofs. We don't have any here. It's not even hearsay evidence. It's more like a lot of people have in past said this, and it is taken for granted that there have been movies as well which depict this. So uh, I for I don't have any evidence. Let me be very clear. I don't have any evidence against Dawood or any other person. So I am only going by the international accepted articles and viewpoints. So to be correct and to be correct, I don't have any knowledge about mafia influence in Bollywood. I don't have any data about it. I don't have any facts about it. I am going based on the international articles that are there. Many videos are there, so viewers are encouraged to go through them. So there have been a lot of influence and a lot of hearsay viewpoints on Sushant Singh. Basically, one side from Bollywood is saying that he has been um, he has committed suicide because he couldn't manage things, or he couldn't promote himself. He doesn't do good acting or something like that. So, but if you look at the data, it shows that he has delivered few good movies and he has earned some money for himself. So he's not like unsuccessful person. So any person, a lot of persons who have achieved lesser than him have been happy, and they said Bollywood, they are not, they have not been pushed into depressive zone. So having such success, a person going into depressive zone looks bit unnatural. That is one. The second, there are few things, two and three things that are very, very important and systemically very, very far-reaching for the India and the world. So what is this? What are these two things? Number one, um, a person is able to use many SIM cards, and many transactions have happened through these SIM cards. Transactions in the sense phone calls, right? Many phone calls have happened. A lot of SIM cards are being used, but there is couple of maybe couple of cell phones, or maybe 10, but SIM cards are in like hundreds of SIM cards have been used by the person. So number one is how could that is one big red flag. The other big red flag is about the movement of funds from his bank account into multiple bank accounts. So one account is going into multiple accounts like this. So this is called layering. So in financial terms, this layering is basically, in financial terms, this layering is basically called money laundering. So when a particular account is, the money in the account is pushed into multiple accounts, then you are hiding something, right? Why do you want so many accounts, and why is it being pushed? So the amount is not just in like say thousands or lakhs that someone wants to use somewhere, so that it's useful for them at that particular place. Say I want to use this bank account here because this is for these expenses, these were that expenses. So like that you could say that, but having then you would have stipulated amount of money. But the biggest cause of worry is the money has moved into company accounts. A company account is a very important one. Nobody can just open up a company account. You have to register, and when you're registering a company, you are going to say, I'm going to use this company for so and so and so activities, and you have to actually prove that you're doing those activities. If you're not doing it, then it's called shell company. And shell companies are illegal internationally. So there is an international law called anti-money laundering, which India is also part of. So with this anti-money laundering, there are few things that you cannot do. You cannot take money out and put it into multiple accounts without reason, right? So, and if you show a reason that is false, then it's also not valid. So when what happens is, for example, you are an NRI, right? You go to any NRO account and you try to put money into that one, they won't allow you, saying that there are regulations that prevent you from doing that. So for common man, a common person like you and me, we can't just take out money and use money within our own account. How can some person who is not the account holder withdraw so much amount of money, say in crores, and then put it into multiple accounts and no flag has been raised? So there are two things that are important when money is deposited into an account. One is called suspicious activity report. The other one is action taken report, SAR and ATR. These are the two things that every bank in the world must follow. So if a money is deposited into a bank account like this, right? Lot of money is going into this bank account. Then you have to raise a flag that says, unexpectedly, someone is putting the money into this. There might be some suspicious activity. Even for amount just over $10,000, that is like say 8 lakhs, you have to raise this suspicious activity report, because number one, it has been done for the first time. Number two, it is for a company account, and they have to show that there are some transactions happening for that to be ignored. So action taken report is basically going to tell that we have gone, see, this account is opened with this much amount, and this much amount has been put into this account. So there is a suspicion. This is the suspicious money. So this suspicious money we have investigated. We have found it to be worthy. We have found it to be legal because of so and so activities done by this company. So that is called the action taken report. That action taken report must be filed in the compliance. Okay, and it should be given to enforcement directorate, and the enforcement directorate should investigate that so much of funds that have been transferred are one time, they are not recurring, there is no business activity, and after the deposit, what did they do with that money? Whom did they give that money for? Is it for another shell company? Is it for another materially bad people? They have to enforcement directorate has to write a report about this. It seems none of them has been done. There should be notices given to Sushant Singh saying that so much amount has been moved from your bank account to a particular company account. You need to come and give verification in person. In person, the person has to go and give verification, and this should have been public news also. I mean, all these things are coming now, and people have varied things like 40, 49 crores, 100 crores, 50 crores. I mean, money is immaterial. Anything above 8 lakhs, there must be a action taken report. That action taken report is not evident right now. People don't even know where the money is going and how the money is going. This is anti-money laundering, and every bank that doesn't follow these laws, every bank that doesn't do it must be closed according to international law. For example, 2012, right? HSBC Bank uh, had done the same kind of layering, where they allowed funds to be moved in South America, right, from South America, Peru, or Chile, or some other place. They allowed people to put a lot of money into the bank, and that money was moved into that money came into this banking system and moved across. So what what actions did this bankers take to prevent that? So HSBC did not do anything. Hong Kong Shanghai Banking Corporation, which is a Hong Kong corporation, which is a Chinese corporation, it was acting in South America, and it did not take up these action taken reports, or it fudged those. Fudged means telling lies. So they told lies that this money has come from so and so and it is legitimate. Then in 2012, there was a federal investigation, and the company had to pay a lot of money as a fine for this anti-money laundering. So such kind of it's in billions of dollars. They had to shut down their operations in America for 1 year, from 2012 to 2013 or 2014, more than a year. There was an investigation happening, and till that time the bank had to shut down. That is how big this money laundering is. So because when the money is being laundered, it is going to terrorists, or it is going to these drug lords like Dawood, and they use it against the society. They use it for terrorist activities. So money going into Dawood is going, then it is going into some terrorist somewhere, right? We don't know. That is the legal definition of money laundering. Okay, so to prevent that, what the banks have to do is they have to first create suspicious activity report, give the action taken report, give the action taken report, and then based on that report, they should define it as false positive or non-suspicious. So these are the basic things that every bank must do, and if they don't do it, their charter has to close. The bank has to close. If you don't give this report, you have to close the bank. Okay, the other important thing that has been missed by our agencies is much bigger than anything else. So what is this? Every cell phone has got IMEI number, right? There is one number that is like 15 characters or 16 character number is there given to every phone. Every electronic device has got that. So every call you make, see, how do I know about this? I worked in AT&T, so I know this is true, that every call has got a IMEI number and the SIM card number that is attached to the call. Now all the calls are digital. If you are using cell phone, it's a digital call. It uses the SIP protocol. It is a digital call. Whether it is CDMA, there are two kinds of protocols, one is CDMA and SIP, and in all of them, in every call, you have this IMEI number. This IMEI number is attached to every call that goes out. So when a person, for the same IMEI number, when so many SIM cards are being used, in hundreds, right? I mean, it's not like one, two, it's like hundreds of SIM cards are there. First, if you and I go to buy SIM card, we have to give our Aadhaar card, we have to give why you need the SIM card, where you are going to use the SIM card, for how long you are going to use the SIM card, and what is the phone number, and what other phone numbers you are going to use. All these information you have to provide upfront so that you can get a one SIM card. Now you have hundreds of SIM cards, and all of them are being used by one cell phone or one person who may have many cell phones. So first of all, one person will not have lot of cell phones, right? Two or three is okay. But when a person is having lot of cell phones, or one cell phone is having a lot of SIM cards, then it is a red flag. This is automatically generated red flag. Mind you, nobody is going to look into all those records and say, hey, this is being used. No, this is automatically, every carrier has to implement this. Every carrier implements this. So when a particular SIM card is being used, or when particular phone is using multiple SIM cards, a flag should be raised to the police. A flag should go to the to the security forces. We have so many security guys, agencies, CRPF, military intelligence, NIA, CBI, you name it. I mean, we have around 28 security intelligence agencies that are only looking at how this misuse of SIM card is happening. Because if you can't prevent one individual or set of individuals from using multiple SIM cards, then how can you prevent the terrorist from using it? Right? I mean, how are you going to identify that a terrorist is not going to use it? And with SIM cards, they can even blow IEDs, right? With the phone calls, they can blow up the IEDs. How are you preventing that? You are preventing that by understanding that a particular SIM card and a particular cell phone are being used. You match them up. And this is an automatic generated report. So why could a person buy so many SIM cards? Forget about Sushant Singh, forget about Sandeep, whoever it is, right? A set of people are able to buy so many SIM cards, then the carrier must be closed. The carrier that is allowing this SIM card must report this to the police. Did they report it? Why did they not report it? And this didn't happen like 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. It happened for a period of 1 year. 1 full year someone is using multiple SIM cards and you don't have a freaking idea about it. You didn't even raise a flag about it. You didn't even ask them why they are using it. You didn't even publish it. Why so much of lacuna is happening? These are auto generated reports. These are technical reports that nobody is going to nobody can stop it. Nobody can stop it. See, suspicious activity report, action taken report is by individual. Suspicious activity report is by the system. The system generates it. So when a particular, why did a particular bank not act on this money laundering layering? Why did a cell phone industry company not act on this? Why can't it say to the police that these many SIM cards are being used by some individual? So then what could have happened? The police could have come there, they could have investigated. Why does someone uses so many SIM cards? Number one, an ordinary person like you and me, ordinary person like Sushant Singh, why could they change those many SIM cards? He's running away from something. Who is he running away from? You should have investigated this long back. 6 months ago this should have happened. This investigation should have happened 6 months ago. Not just okay, there is COVID, we lost there, India, China, all those things, they don't matter. This has happened like from 1 year. Someone is using multiple SIM cards for 1 full year, and no flag is raised, no investigation happened. Even if the investigation happened, we don't know. And at least after his death, they should have told that the investigations have happened, this is the thing, this is the thing. But none of them has come out. So the police, the banking system have failed the um, the systemic regulations. So a bank that has failed systemic regulations must be closed. And the carrier, the phone carrier that has failed to operate within the systemic regulations must be closed. Whether it's Geo, if it is Geo, then the Microsoft and Facebook must withdraw their investment into it. These are the laws. How can the people who should abide, who should follow the procedures, completely ignore it? And what if, okay, now it is Sushant Singh that has happened, people might think otherwise, but what if some terrorist can buy so many SIM cards? How are you preventing it? Can they use the same thing? Can they make can they use the same bank managers and bankers and run away with their money laundering? Why was there no information, no actions on this thing? These are criminal records, these are criminal activities by bankers and the mobile carriers, and there must be investigation on this thing. It is not it is not like, okay, it's like a murder, right? If someone does a murder, there has to be an automatically FIR should be there, automatically the um, investigation must happen. On the same front, if someone is moving the money, then automatically the investigation should start. When someone is buying multiple SIM cards, automatically the investigation should start. There is no need for an FIR to be lodged by anybody else, right? There is no need. Nobody is going to come and give complaint. The complaint must automatically be lodged by the system. And if you don't have that system, then you should not be operational. Then you don't have the operational capability. This is the law. And such a blatant misuse, such a blatant foregoing of law by police, by bankers, by the telecommunications department, by ED. I mean, systemic failure has happened, and we are very lucky that it is only Sushant Singh. Think about some terrorist able to use this. They will literally blow off India, right? They can do so many things with this kind of system. So for your safety and my safety and everybody else's safety, these laws that have been implemented should be investigated. Why they have not followed these laws? Why there was no procedural things have that must have happened did not happen? Okay, so with this, we come to a closure of our episode, and we'll meet you with more details in the next episode. Hopefully, by that time, we'll go over Sushant Singh's, tragedy, and some nice things would come out of it. But if not, we will continue. We will continue to bombard the media bombard people with the information that's relevant to this thing. Okay, thank you, and you have a wonderful day. Bye.